Hey guys, welcome back. Now, with the crypto market doing its normal dance of looking like it's going to break out only to do yet another shakeout, it can be hard to know what is going on. However, with one of the biggest catalysts coming up in less than 5 days, from what I can see, the market is getting ready for some major moves depending on the result. And so in this video, we'll be covering the latest price action to see what is going on. We'll check in with the big 4-year cycle and see where we are and what could be coming next. And then we'll finish with the biggest developments from all around the world in just the past couple of weeks. Okay, so first up with crypto looking to break out only to crash back down. Let's see WTF is going on. Okay, jumping into the Bitcoin chart to see what is going on, and we are starting on the weekly. So just when you thought Bitcoin was going to do a breakout, as it kissed the previous all-time high, what do we get? We got a fake out, shooting price back down, and a lot of the altcoins obviously dropped even further. So zoomed in, we can see that it's basically very volatile. Drops to the downside, is it going to break out? Drops to the downside, is it going to break out? Drops to the downside, and it's still, for me, this is the key level here set back in August. It really has to drop a lot further now to retest the lows of this period, which was around $50,000. So we are still way ahead, and this is likely the bottom for me. So we've actually already started this part of the bull market, although with the breakouts and the shakeouts, it often doesn't feel that way. So as I like to remind people, what you need to do is just zoom out. And this is how I prefer to look at the crypto market right now, and why it's all about lucky number 7. So what do I mean? Well, in one of my most recent videos, I pointed out that in the previous all-time highs of the cycles, yes, you get the crash along the way. Yes, you get the recovery, you get the halving. But if we zoom in, this was the halving month, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you notice, it's the 6th month that actually retests this line. Pretty much exactly what happened a few days ago. It's a very volatile month, as you can see, and it's the 7th month where we get this definitive breakthrough. And looking at the last 4-year cycle, here was the peak, the crash, the recovery year. Here is the halving. And again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 6th month where it retests and jumps right back to this line, which is pretty much, remember, what's just happened a couple of days ago. But it's magic month number 7 where we get the definitive breakout. Now, going to this part of the cycle, this was this double top where the high was set, the crash, the recovery year. Here is the halving in April, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th month retested this line. It couldn't hold it, and if history repeats, again, it's lucky number 7 where we would get the definitive breakout. And this month, number 7, what is it? Well, it is November. And as we all know by now, it's November 5th where we're going to get the result of the US election, and for me, that is the true breakout or further breakdown. Now, just jumping into seasonality, and we have to admit that Bitcoin is having a great year. And last month, the results have just come in, and it's another double-digit return. So 10% growth for Bitcoin, which is excellent. And obviously, November has just begun. So expect some fireworks certainly in this month. Now, when it comes to Ethereum representing the altcoin market, last month, unfortunately, was another negative month. And you have to admit, Ethereum is not having one of its best years so far. And if you saw my comparison video, something that Ben from Into the Cryptoverse had pointed out was the comparison from this year to 2016. And it had pretty much followed month to month exactly what had happened in 2016, which was pretty amazing. So you'll see green month, red month, green month, triple red, green, and then it predicts 3 red months, which to me was very surprising and very unlikely. However, with October, the results just come in and we do have another red month. So what does it predict for the Ethereum and the altcoin market next month? Well, a 20% drop. Now, this may seem quite surprising or unlikely. However, for me, this depends on the results of the election. If Harris gets in and it signals another 4 years of a Gary Gensler type SEC regime, then the market certainly is not going to like it. And I can certainly see this would be the scenario where we get a 20% drop, which to be honest would suck. And then if we get the more favorable Donald Trump win, I would say it's more something like this, 2017, where it really wouldn't surprise me to get a 40% jump. So for me, these two numbers here would be a fair representation of what could be coming this month, depending on what happens November the 5th, less than 5 days away. Now, when it comes to the really big picture, the 4-year cycle, here it is, and I've just included the last two. And what can we say? Well, for me, Bitcoin has just made its way to the starting line and it's ready for takeoff. So obviously we had this mid-cycle peak because of the Bitcoin ETFs. It went above the previous cycles, which is something that really shouldn't happen as the market evolves. We've had this 7-month period of the market coming down, which has not been great for the crypto market. This is why people have been speculating, I think, on meme coins, because it's the only thing where you've had big gains and big dumps, and there's a lot of people looking to get rich in crypto. However, this is now out of the way. The recovery has brought us back below the previous cycles, and so I'd say this is pretty much exactly where it should be now at this point in the cycle. And then, as mentioned, next week we're going to see whether it races up like the 2 previous cycles or whether we get an initial drop off. I don't think December would look good either. However, I do think crypto, regardless who wins, is going to do very, very well in 2025. So that would be the good news. I think it's a train that is now too established to slow down or stop, and it's going to get to the end result regardless. But in 5 days, we'll know which path it's likely going to take. Now, when it comes to the biggest developments, there were several, and this was a huge bombshell bombshell dropped by Michael Saylor, announcing MicroStrategy plans to acquire another 42 billion in Bitcoin, and considering they only hold about 16 billion right now, this is a massive, massive plan. And hats off to what MicroStrategy has been able to do. In hindsight, simply just buying MicroStrategy a year ago was probably the single best thing you could have done. So massive plans coming from Michael Saylor. In the US, we had some great news that the first United States university endowment has bought Bitcoin ETFs. First a trickle, then a flood, but this is great to see. DBS Bank in Singapore has launched its token services. This is blockchain payment settlements, and it's the mega institutions that are choosing Bitcoin and Ethereum. So even though Ethereum is struggling right now, I'd say it's mostly retail that has been selling for other chains. The mega institutions are still going to choose Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is why I think next year it does very, very well. We saw Pennsylvania House of Representatives have passed a crypto bill to try to bring regulatory clarity to the crypto market. So this is great to see, but as mentioned, it's way more important what's going to happen in less than 5 days, as crypto regulation has been the brake put on the market, which may finally be getting lifted. More great news for Ethereum and its layer 2 optimism, as Kraken, which is one of the big exchanges like Coinbase and Binance, they are going to be launching their own layer 2 next year, and they have selected Optimism as their chain of choice. So Optimism recently being selected, obviously by Coinbase's base, now by Kraken. It was also selected by Sam Altman of OpenAI, also Sony, so I still expect big things from Optimism next year. Likely massive moves as Ethereum begins to turn around. So obviously Kraken, the exchange, have seen the massive success that Base has had, and they too want a slice of the pie. We had a recent interview with billionaire trader Paul Tudor Jones. He's been a fan for Bitcoin for quite a while, but he reiterates that he's long gold and he's long Bitcoin. The billionaire insider super traders are choosing crypto. More good news for Avalanche, as they have partnered with Visa to do a crypto spending card. And pretty much anywhere that you can use Visa, you'll be able to spend Avalanche. And it'll be linked to a self-custody wallet. And then let's finish with arguably the biggest news, and that was that Microsoft, when they do their next shareholder meeting, they're going to be doing a vote on whether they should be putting Bitcoin on the corporate balance sheet. So this could be absolutely enormous, and we should find out what this vote was December this year. And I would say if Microsoft put Bitcoin on the corporate balance sheet, then it's going to cause one of the biggest crypto tsunamis that we've ever seen. With the crypto market doing its normal dance of looking to break out only to do yet another shakeout, it can be hard to know what is going on. Historically, it is month number 7 after the halving where the true breakout occurs, and this lines right up to the US election. The 4-year cycle pretty much shows that Bitcoin is back down where it should be, nicely positioned below the 2 prior cycles. And regardless of everything going on right now, the developments just keep coming in thick and fast no matter what happens. And can you even imagine what will happen if Microsoft announce that they have put Bitcoin on the corporate balance sheet? So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now it's next week where there's one of the most important days in this entire 4-year cycle, so expect some major fireworks and buckle up. If you do have any questions or comments, then post them below. However, just remember, to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments, we are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.